Welcome back to Pole Barn Garage, where today we're going to try to resurrect this mystery square body Chevy that I saved from the scrapyard. Well, I don't even know what year this thing is. I think it's 76 or 7. It's pretty rough, but it's all here. And my buddy Zane, who hauls junk cars, got a call, and the guy wanted this hauled out of his tree row. He, of course, called me and asked if I wanted it, and I said, well, yeah. We'll see what we can do with it. Maybe we get it running, driving. Be a good farm truck for somebody. The weather has turned wintry here in Missouri all of a sudden, and I'm a big baby, so we're gonna drag it into the shop. It came with bonuses. There's a raised garden bed naturally occurring here. It has crops. Yeah, I'm sure this truck's great. There you go, Jess. Make yourself at home.
So much poop.
I already robbed the door off for your truck.
Yeah.
Already did that. Okay.
Goodbye.
I don't think the 4x4 is working in my burb here. Sometimes it takes a square body to move a square body. Yep. The older stuff just works better. And that's why that truck's worth saving. Old Blue will get the job done. Hell or high water. Well, here she is. It is truck slash dumpster. There could be treasures in there though. What year is this thing? It's a 74. It's a higher dollar kind of square body, the early ones like this. And it's a GMC. That's about all it's got going for it. Oh. Well, that's a small block Chevy of some kind. Well, the core support's out of a 454 truck. That's not that. So it's a 350 probably. I guess that's where we should start, to see if the damn thing runs, and then we'll work from there. But I want to get some dinner tonight, so we'll catch up tomorrow. It's been a couple of days. I had to get a tooth yanked, so I'm going to be moving a little bit slower than normal, but feeling okay now. I've got 3 days to make this thing functional, and I have to go to Florida to pick up something very special to me. So I'm going to be gone for a week, but I wanted to see if I could get this thing to at least run and move around before I had to leave. So let's see what we're working with for starters. If we could trust that license plate, this thing has been off the road for 24 years, and I kind of believe it. Looks to be a 350. Could technically be a 400, especially given that the truck is a GMC, but as cobbled together as the rest of the truck is, I doubt it's original. Who knows? I spy a newer shock in there. That's kind of weird. Doesn't look too bad. All 4 tires are screwed, and that's going to be a problem because I don't have any, and I don't want to put too much money into this pile for obvious reasons. This door isn't too bad. Could be fixed. There's a hammer. It's a natty light can. The rocker is, well, it's there. No, it isn't. There's nothing there. Dash is destroyed. The seat is salvageable. Sliding back window, that's a plus. Well, I don't think we need to worry about keys. You know, the bed isn't too bad. I've fixed a lot worse than this. A little bit of patchwork and you'd be good to go. At least that side. Tailgate is rotten in ways that I have only rarely seen. You can see somebody has actually welded that back together. We're not going to open that. Oh, and is this a piece of, it is, angle iron on the bottom to hold it together. That's quality craftsmanship. And yeah, this side of the bed is also repairable. Cab corners are rotten. Not too bad. This door is off of Jess's truck, and I took it because of that giant hole there. This rocker's gone. The floor is gone. This fender is pretty much screwed. inner fender screwed, and there's no title. So I'd call it a farm truck. I mean, you could get a title through the guy that I've shown a few times, Jared. He can get you a title as long as the VIN's clean. But this is a farm truck, if I've ever seen one. You know, you throw a bale spike in the back of this thing and, you know, let it live out its years in the pasture. I think the frame is good. They like to rot right back here, and it actually looks pretty good. Even the shackle mount looks pretty good on this side. I don't even want to think about what's under that. Yeah. Now the frame is actually decent. It's even got full exhaust on it. Single, but full exhaust nonetheless. I bet you $1 this thing probably fires up and runs fairly easy as long as it ain't stuck. We got over here Quadrajet. Quadrajet, rock hard rubber line. That's always a good judge of how long something's been sitting. Mud dauber nest. Works though. Oil look like. There's some in it. It's low, but it's there. Power steering pump's off of it. Oh, it's got a counterweight on it. Let's just remove that. There we go. Pump feels fine, so must have just lost the belt. Let's see what the fuel tank smells like. Varnish. Varnish, but not the worst. So I don't think it's been off the road for 24 years. Maybe 10, 15. Oof. The tank is empty, and I bet you $1 it's rotten. They don't look very good. See how wet it is back here? That's definitely where they like to rot holes in them. It's got the big tank in it, though. I broke my bore scope a while back, but George sent me a bore scope. Thank you so much, man. I love it, man. You guys are the best. And I just said something, you know, one thing, and he goes, yeah, you know what? I got one laying around. What a guy. I want to take a peek in this fuel tank real quick, and this will kind of tell us what our course of action is going to be here. This is a really nice bore scope. It's got the prostate tickler 4000 on it too. You can wiggle it. Come on now, get in there. Get in there, damn it. I'm right there. I am trying my damnedest to get into the lower intestine, but it's just not going to happen, apparently. So we'll have to go off the smell test. I just can't get in there, even with the prostate tickler. Damn. This isn't my usual MO here, but let's throw a battery in this thing and see if it cranks or tries to do anything. And if it does, then let's throw some gas in it and let's just try to make it run. To be honest with you, I'm going to sell the thing when we're done with this video. So I don't know if I got a local guy, he's kind of interested in it, but if it doesn't sell to him, then it will be available to you guys cheap. This is a disaster, and for the record, that's not how you steal one of these. Is there a place for a screwdriver? It's currently in the on position. It's got a tape deck that's working. The seat just broke. The steering wheel is glue. Man, what the hell? There are much easier ways to do this. So, I can see, thanks to the autopsy hole here, that this thing is screwed. The rooster comb's broken. That ain't gonna work. How about this? Can I just grab the rod? Oh yeah. Whoa, easy there. Sticks a little. Well, that's okay. We can work with that. Well, it cranks really good. Sounds fine. I'm going to go ahead and clean off the carburetor. I'm not going to run it off a brake clean, but I will spray it all off. Don't want it to eat anything once it starts to run, you know. And then one thing I've had some good luck with is if I just take the brake clean and fill the bowl of the carburetor, spider guy, the solvents of the brake clean will break down the varnish in the carburetor and it gives it a chance at life, you know? These Quadrajets, they either work perfectly fine after sitting, or they never run again. There's no in between. Yeah, let's just get rid of the spiders that are everywhere. Goodbye. There we go. See, I bet you didn't know this was a pest control channel, did you? Actually, it kind of is. I know it's not my best idea, but what the hell? Let's put gas in it. At least we can tell if it just falls out the bottom. We can automatically figure out if we're going to need a boat tank or what. For the record, this is a horrible idea. Don't do this. Don't just put gas in something and be like, oh, well, it should run. Sometimes you get lucky, and that's what I'm gambling on, but most of the time you don't. It ain't coming out so far. We'll give her the full 5 gallons here just to dilute whatever may or may not be in there. Give me that back. Hey. Well, that's inconvenient. Damn, no wonder I couldn't get the prostate exam tool in there. I want to fill the bowl of the carburetor. Oh, this thing is nice. I had this in the saddlebag of my dirt bike, my Enduro, and I was like, wait a minute, that would be super handy to use to prime a carburetor. And it is. It's just an emergency fuel bottle. Well, let's see what happens. Wow. Well, that was pretty easy. No way it's running off of its tank. Look at that. Some bitch is just idling away. It doesn't sound the best, but it's got to be running off the bowl, surely. I would assume the fuel pump is bad. Yeah, ran out of fuel. So we got fuel lines, stuff like that. Make sure we're actually getting fuel out of the tank. My money's on the fuel pump, but hey, we know she runs. It didn't even smoke. It blew some crap out of it, but it ain't bad. It literally blew crap out of it. That's motor oil. We'll see if that fixes itself. Let's see, got any sort of fuel filter to give me an idea. God, dude, these fuel hoses are rock hard. If I was smart, I would just change them. But if I'm going to go through that trouble, then, you know, I mean, come on, I might as well put a fuel pump on it. Maybe the needle and seat's just stuck. Oh, yep. You know, you don't need that part, actually. Let's try this again. I'm just going to fill the bowl up again. And I want to give that fuel pump a shot, because the less money we have to spend here, the better we're going to be. It's full. Fire it off again. Come on, baby. Start pumping. Save me money. Trying to do the old rev it up and snuff it out thing. It probably just needs a fuel pump, but I like my small block Chevys as much as the next guy, but I hate putting fuel pumps on them, especially in a truck. As you can see, it's just not that much fun to get to. Then you gotta deal with that stupid push rod, and they're dumb. They're dumb. I like fuel pumps that have an arm much better. I think before I dive too deeply into this fine specimen of Chevrolet, I'm gonna vacuum all the mouse turds off. I mean, we know it runs, so it's worth the effort of vacuuming the turds. Whoa! My rag! God damn it. Well, with that being marginally less disgusting, let me try to get this fuel pump off. No, we're just kind of guessing that this is what it is, but 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. Even if a fuel pump works after a car has been sitting for, 10, 15 years, unless it's an original pump, they just don't hold up. They might work for a while, then the diaphragm tears, and you end up filling your oil full of gas. And it is one of those things you should just pretty much automatically replace. The hardest part of this, other than getting the new one on with the push rod, is always getting the damn fuel line fitting out of them. Yeah, that one was pretty easy going. If you don't have a set of line wrenches, get you a set of cheap line wrenches. Now, more expensive line wrenches are better, but a set of cheap ones will get you by. They'll save you a lot of headache. Alright. This is a non-return pump, so it's only got an outlet and it just deadheads at the carburetor. It's been replaced for sure. It don't work. It kind of works, but this is our problem. This piece of hose actually has a date on it, May 27th, 1994. It's been a minute since she's had some service. Yeah, clean this off. Well, that got a lot of debris inside of there. That's okay, it'll eat it. It'll love it. Got a brand spanking new Chinese rattle trap here. Quality. Now, Chevys, of course, use a push rod to drive the fuel pump right here. And there's a couple, 3 ways you can hold that push rod up. There's a bolt you can pull out on the front of the engine, replace with a longer bolt, and that works. Or, honestly, a lot of times I can just, if you're quick, you can just shove that rod up with a needle nose pliers, and I'd love to show you, but there's just no room in here. You just shove the rod up, get it to where it kind of hangs out up there, and then you want to slip the arm of this thing in if you've got the room, and we don't, but if you can slip that in there quickly enough, don't let it fall out, usually works pretty good. There, I got it. I think I got it. Nope, I didn't. I will get it. I got lucky, got her slipped in there, I got the bolts in, I just got to tighten her up. Sometimes you get lucky and they go right on. Sometimes you really fight these sons of bitches. Are you a 2 gasket or 1 gasket kind of person for your fuel pump? I'm always the 2 gasket. They always come with 2 gaskets, and I've never really understood why. I believe you use one as a shim sometimes, but they give me 2. I use 2 of them. The factory only used 1, so I don't know. I think it goes without saying we may run into some debris issues with our fuel system and fuel tank. So I'm just going to put a service loop in this thing, put it up here. I'll shorten this a little bit, but basically I'm going to want to keep the filter up high right here where I can get to it easily and we can keep an eye on it easily. I'm usually not a fan of clear fuel filters or putting a filter in front of a fuel pump, but in cases like this, I will. And the reason I don't like to typically put filters in front of a fuel pump is because if you put a restriction in front of a fuel pump, and a filter by itself is actually quite a bit of a restriction, it will shorten the life of the pump pretty dramatically, but so will a bunch of rust and debris. So, you get 6 one way, half a dozen the other. It is what it is. Let me get this attached here. Actually, you know what? Before I hook this up to the pump, let me do something. Oh, this is going back to the tank. Let's just make sure that nothing has like moved in to the fuel line and see if it blows clean back to the tank. There was something in there. It pressurized. Okay, well, it made it back to the tank. There was something in there. I heard something go clunk. Oh, and now it's pouring fuel out of it. Great. Considering that we now have fuel flowing up here, I think it's safe to say that other fuel pump might have been fine. It may have just been a blockage, but either way, we're playing it safe. Put this antique fuel filter on here. I accidentally bought a box of too small of hose clamps. It doesn't really fit on 3/8 line. I can kind of force it to fit, but it's good enough for this vehicle. So I'm going to try to burn up some of my stock I wouldn't normally use. Here we go. Service loop installed. We'll get this rock hard fuel line off the carburetor. We'll go ahead and change it. We may end up doing the rest of the fuel lines as well. But I'm going to say they're probably at least attached still if I was able to build pressure up in the fuel tank. So maybe we can kind of skip that part. I also see a couple of vacuum leaks. Somebody's just wrapped electrical tape around that one. That's not going to work. So we'll fix some of that stuff and then we'll try to fire it up again. Ooh, I'm going to see if there's a fuel filter in here too. Oh, dude, this... I don't know, maybe this thing has been off the road for 24 years. It's like a rock. Let's see if there's a fuel filter in the carb. If there is, we can just eliminate it. Unless it looks fine, and then I'll leave it alone. I don't believe I have one on hand. There is a filter, and yeah. You know, it's a little worse for wear. I'm just going to remove it, and it'll be okay without that filter. Just got to pull this spring out as well. Since we got a filter before the fuel pump, we should be okay. It'll just be one less thing that we got to think about, you know. This one actually has an extra little filter. Aha! It was plugged. It's a one-way check valve, and it's only supposed to let fuel in and it won't let it go back. It's kind of a problem with quadrojets, is that the bowl will drain and return back. So that's what this solves, but it was stuck. Now it flows. The freer flowing it is, the better off we'll be, as far as I'm concerned. Let me spray into the fuel inlet real quick. There's nothing really in there, but we could flush it, you know. We'll spray this out as well. And spray down this line. Clean out the line to the fuel pump. Then we will take some fuel-resistant thread sealant tape, wrap this fitting with it. I always end up doing these backwards, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I guess I'm just stupid. Can't say I've ever had them leak, though. So, I don't know. Maybe my stupidity doesn't really matter. I wasn't a pipe fitter. I was an electrician, so... Yeah, see, I can't even get it to stick right. It just wasn't cut out to be a pipe fitter. There we go. I was putting it on backwards. I corrected myself. Now it will probably seal. Probably. I appreciate that somebody's already cut the line off here. I do not appreciate how they only left about ½ an inch of it exposed, but beggars can't be choosers. Well, let's see what she's got. Well, you know, I probably ought to prime it first. I don't know how good that battery is. That's pretty new, but still. So with my fancy new emergency fuel can that I've had for like a year and didn't realize I owned, I could prime it pretty easily. Yeah! What a delightful vehicle. It's pumping something. Pretty nasty. It is running on its own now. Looks all right. No leaks. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude. Might just be carbon. I don't know, man. That's significant. Hey, don't die. No, it's not dying. Maybe it is. You know, the old thing is actually running pretty damn good. See what we got for training fluid. It's empty. Let me get some of that. I never looked in the radiator. I probably should have looked in the radiator. I'm sure it'll be fine. I got about a gallon of training fluid. Let me make sure it's not overheating. 180 and holding. He's happy. It's just small block Chevy. I mean, tough to kill him, really. Let me get some training fluid in here. Look how much this one truck has fogged out the whole valley. But it is cleaning up. Look how much cleaner this thing's running. Brakes? Absolutely not. Tranny? Yes. Yep. No brakes, but it'll move backwards and forwards. We're halfway there. Just letting this sucker run a while is going to do it a world of good. It will drain the oil out of it while it's good and hot. You know what? It don't run that bad. I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Like, that thing is hitting on all 8. It sounds good. I'm not even going to pull the plugs out of it. This is trying to get this done as cheap as possible. Now, possible it may end up fouling the plugs and then needing them addressed. I'm going to give it its chance first. So far, the fuel looks good. What little of it there is in the filter looks just fine. I'm going to call this thing pretty good. We'll go ahead and drain the oil out of it next, and we'll try to get a power steering belt on there. Unless there's a reason it's missing, but we'll figure that out. I don't know, I think it's fine. Oh, and then we better get some kind of brakes on it, because even if someone's going to use this thing as a farm truck, we're going to need brakes, at least fronts. Well, let's change the oil in this old thing here. Oh, it's got a fram on it. Ugh. It's time for an extreme-ish oil change. No, not that extreme, though. Mildly extreme. We got the whole inspection covers full of rat dust. Let me get this filter off of here. Ow. Ow, that's hot. Ugh. Oh, that's disgusting. Ugh. Oh, my God. That's bad. That oil's gross. I should have maybe changed that first. Oh, no way. Okay, hang on. You spin a new filter on here real quick. And then, do I have something to show you? Oh my gosh, look at that. Probably lucky that didn't suck up into the bell housing. And I'm sure some of it did, but not enough to matter. I'm just gonna scoop this shit out of here. Oh my God, that's disgusting. See if I can't put this back. There, kinda. Is the bolt broke off or is it just missing? It's broke off. Shit. Oh, no, it's just missing. Just missing. Why won't this go up into place though, I wonder? You know what? I think this inspection cover just became optional. Let's just leave it off of there, just in case there's anybody else that needs to be evicted in here. You rotten fuck. Alright, I'll have to actually unbolt it, but still. Let's get the oil drained out of this thing. I'll finish taking off the inspection cover. We'll fill it up with some oil. I'll hold off on the inspection cover until I got to get under there for a few other things anyway. So let me go ahead and fill it with oil just so I don't forget. Then we'll look for a belt. I have enough of this diesel AMS oil left to fill this thing up. So I'm going to use it up in here. I ain't going to use it nothing else. Plenty good enough for farm truck stuff though. When I start on a vehicle, I try to, try to finish one system at a time. Like, the truck is full of shit that needs cleaned out. My brain can't go there yet. I got to make sure engine good or good enough. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be acceptable. It needs a power steering belt. It needs fresh oil. We know it runs pretty decent other than the smoke and the oil coming out of the exhaust, but there's nothing we're going to be able to do about that, right? At least not right now. But once we get the engine to the point where we can start vehicle, move vehicle, use vehicle, then I'm good with engine. Then we move on to brakes. We need truck to stop. And then we can finish the brakes. Then we can move on to cleaning or whatever, tires or whatever. Just one system at a time. Should be pretty close. I'm going to see if any of these tires will take air, because I'm going to have to start hunting for tires. And then I'm going to jack the thing up, and we'll pull the wheels off of it, see what we are working with for brakes, because they don't work at all. Let's go over to my box of belts, see if I can't find a power steering belt. Now, if memory serves, should be like a 7380. It might be at 7360 right here. I usually have a few of these around as spares, but I'm not smart enough to label things. What's that? 7315? That's way too small. 7390. I bet that's it right there. I gotta move the alternator belt out of the way so that we can get to the power steering belt. Good time to take a look at it, see if it can be salvaged, or maybe we need to replace it. It could also use a water pump eventually, but it's not a problem right away. It did seem to keep cool, no problem. Yeah, I could use a new belt. I cleaned the mud dauber nest out of this power steering pulley. Beautiful. Like new again. It's actually a Reman power steering pump. Got a sticker on it right there. Had one. Somebody worked on it once upon a time. Let's see if I guessed the part number correctly. You know? Oh, it's close. Let me loosen that up, see what kind of adjustment we got, but it might be that first one I had. Alright, yeah, it was the 7360 is the correct belt. Now you want to learn a trick here? Sometimes it's hard to get these power steering pumps adjusted correctly, and it's tempting to just kind of grab it and pull, but that won't get you tight enough. What will, take a adjustable wrench like so, and then just get it narrow enough that you can fit it under the bracket, and then just give her a yank, and that'll give you the leverage you need to really get that sucker tight, because these really like to back off. Oh yeah, that thing is tight as a string. For the alternator, I've got this belt here, also brand new. Don't know what the hell it's for, but it's a little bit shorter, but I think we've got the adjustment to use it. I always keep a hoard of belts. Always. That's because I'm weird. Oh, come on. You can go further than that. Just have to make some slight adjustments. Move, damn it. Oh, it's right there. Come on. Let me use this belt that I definitely don't need for anything else. Got it. Bingo! Now I'm about to show you an important lesson. This is the old belt from the truck. You think I'm going to throw it away just because it's dry rotted and falling apart? No. It goes in the box of belts. I might use it someday. I mean, if this ain't the deluxe treatment, I don't know what is. Only the finest at Dalton's Used Motors. Now the real question is why was the power steering disconnected? There's a distinct possibility that we don't want to know. There is some fluid in it though. Let's fire it up again and see if the power steering does anything. Or if it explodes, which is possible. She got all the oil pressure now. Power steering works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Feels great, it's not noisy. Got a hell of an exhaust leak, but not that bad. It's basically quit smoking. Oil pressure gauge works, and we're sitting at about, what, 50? Temp gauge don't work, fuel gauge don't work, but look at that power steering. That's nice. Really nice. No smoke. Water or carbon or something, I don't know. It's kind of oily. I'm gonna do the old rev it up and stuff it trick. Sounds fine, it's just idled up kind of high now for some reason. Like it's got a vacuum leak. Probably the throttle shaft, it is. A typical quadrijet. Throttle shaft wore out. It ain't perfect, but it ain't running that bad. It ain't bad. It's got a hell of an exhaust leak. I think both manifolds are cracked, but I mean, ain't nothing that's going to keep it from working. They don't run that bad at all. It sounds pretty strong, really. I'm going to see if I can't get some air in the tires, then I'm going to jack the thing up, throw it on stands, and we'll take a peek at the brakes. I would put it on the lift. I'm not doing this ironically, working on the ground. Seriously. It's just, I got to move the Torino, then I got to lower it, I got to move the wagon, and then I got to move this on there without brakes. Frankly, it's just easier to do it on the ground. Well, what do you think? Gonna take air or gonna explode? I'm gonna go with explode. But then again, I am a glass half empty kind of guy. Don't take air at all. It is. Alright. Now remember, we're looking at farm truck quality here. I probably won't even take this thing down the road, because I just don't want to throw $500 of tires at the thing, and I don't have time to wait around and get them. Boy, that is a scary looking tire. Thing's been driven on flat. Always be watching them, looking for the goose egg to blow up on them, you know. It's a shame, they actually got great tread. They were probably like new whenever they put them on. That is enough. Oh boy. Now this one, if this takes air, I will be shocked. Nah, that's done for. Shit. I think both the rears might. I don't know, man. This one, this is bad. Shoot. Oh my God, that's terrifying. That thing's gonna peel apart in 0.3 seconds. But it will let us move it around. That's good. I could rob 2 tires off of my Blazer, throw them on here just to move the thing around. Yeah, that's all the air that's getting. Okay, well, good to know. We need 2 tires. We need 4 tires, but it might get 2. Now, if I have time, I'll look at the rear brakes. But that's not a priority. Still, I'll get her up in the air just so we can kind of check everything out. And there's a lot of stuff in the bed of this. Go figure. Can't get under the pumpkin on the front of this thing, so we'll just have to jack her up all cattywampus like. I did forget one vital engine component. I got a new air filter for it. Check this out, though. There's been a few things living in there. I mean, they didn't make it all the way out the choke horn yet, so not too bad. A brand new air filter. Only the finest, but more important than that is, of course, the lid flip. It is actually illegal to drive one of these trucks with your air cleaner lid installed correctly. Check your local bylaws. Let's see what's in here, or isn't in here. I see that the hub is locked. Oh, it actually rotates too. That's good. Yeah, pretty standard issue old square body junk, with one exception. It's got a wheel spacer for the saw blade wheels. Those were really cool in 1990. They still look okay on a pickup truck. Don't think about what's living in the tire, Dalton. Don't think about it. How about this hub? It goes free. I don't know what I'm doing with this stuff, to be honest with you. I'm pretty dumb when it comes to 4x4s. Owned my fair share of square bodies, but I've really never had to fix any of this stuff. So it'll be what it is. You know what? I'm not even going to worry about the rear of the truck right now. Let's just focus on the front. I can tell you right now, these calipers are going to be smoked. I already got new ones. They're $30 a piece. I mean, I might as well. We'll change the brake hoses because these ain't going to work. They're toast. And a master cylinder. We'll start there. Front brakes, good enough for farm truck stuff. If we got the time, we'll dive into the rears too, but that's going to involve more brake lines and stuff like that I really don't want to do. I'm going to tell you the truth. One thing I did not buy was brake pads. I forgot to. So hopefully these are decent. They look okay. Ah, yeah. There's a lot of things fleeing for their life right now. Like you, God bless. Kill it with fire. Good Lord, this thing is loaded with spiders. Okay, I think I got most. Also, do not let me forget about that inspection cover, because I will. I don't want to deal with it right now, but just comment, don't let me forget. I'm serious. YouTube likes that. Back to torching. Woo! Big fire. Eat shit. They will speak about this cataclysm for many years. The day all you bastard spiders got torched, bitch. Oh yeah. We'll throw in a little chemical warfare for good measure. When you're doing brakes on a square body, they do this really cool thing where they bolt the brake hose into the frame, and then you can't get to it. So you can't get to the line on the back. It's great. I love it. It's so cool. I'm so glad they did that instead of something that made sense. So I'm sure this thing being such a delightfully rust-free vehicle, it'll be no problem. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but don't feel left out because I can't see it either. So, see, getting a line wrench on these things is a freaking nightmare. Alright, let's try it. This is the hardest part. There. Hey, I got it. Holy cow. So the one good thing about mounting the brake lines this way is that they usually don't get rusty. They are a pain in the ass, but it's usually not the worst thing in the world to deal with. There we go. Alright, one down. And there is some brake fluid in it. That's good. It's actually a good sign. I'm happy to see that. Now there's a nut on the inside here. And typically, the best way to deal with those is just to cut the hose on the outside, like that. Then get the socket that fits it. It's a 3/4. Sometimes you get lucky and it'll just zip out. Not quite. So what we can do is you take a ratchet with a deep 3/4, put it on the back side, up in here. Come on, almost. Almost there. And it's a mess. A horrible, horrible mess. One of these days. There. Now save the nut because your new hose won't come with that. It's just a sheet metal, like speed nut kind of thing. Good news, this thing's got like brand new brake pads on it. Saved a couple dollars there. And I don't mind going this deep into the brakes because even if it's a farm truck, you still gotta have brakes, Oh my God. Well, you know what? Maybe this caliper is perfectly fine. It's very possible that this caliper will be perfectly fine and... okay, it's going. Okay, never mind. This caliper needs replaced. Clearly it needs replaced. You might wonder why I'm happy to see brake fluid even when the brakes are trashed. And that's because if there's brake fluid in that line, that means the line's probably in good shape and we don't need to worry about it. And also, if they have brake fluid in them still, for whatever reason, they do tend to come apart a little easier. Not this one, but, most of the time. Dude, there are literally spiders just falling out of this thing. You're pregnant. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even hate spiders, but not that many, Yeah, those were kind of stuck. Yuck. But, look at those pads. Clean them up. It'll be alright. The charred remains of 1,000 spiders. Yeah. Well, I gotta turn the rotors. Hey, the hub works. Good enough. We can do the same thing with these pads. They're kind of glazed up. Yeah, good as new. Load up our new brake caliper here. stick it on. And this is definitely the easiest way to go about this. Plus, you know, something we probably need to start thinking about as these cars get old is, you know, the more parts you buy, right, for a vehicle, the more likely they are to stock it. It's supply and demand. So if they see that a lot of people are still buying parts for a 1970 whatever Chevy pickup, then, you know, they're gonna keep stocking the parts, right? It's cars that nobody buys parts for. Those are the cars that you can't get anything for. So spending my $30 here, as far as I'm concerned, is doing a national service. And that's only because I think very highly of myself. Not that any of the replacement parts are worth a damn, but at least you can get them. And I'll be honest, I rag on O'Reilly quite a bit, but recently they've really stepped up their game with the Brake Best brake calipers, and I am a fan of these. As far as replacement reman brake calipers go, I mean, they got this like powder coating shit on them. I don't know. Not bad. Not bad at all. There's one of those. A new brake hose. Now with these, they of course use a banjo bolt. This is your banjo bolt, named after the infamous Billy Banjo. And it's a bolt with a hole in it, basically. And see how it's got a neck on it? The fluid is allowed to flow around the bolt through the hole. Boom. That's how a banjo bolt works. These do have to be sealed with copper crush washers on either side of the bolt. And now we can stick it up into that hole like so. Get the banjo bolt plenty tight so those crush washers seal. Shimmy under here. Get our nut started to retain the brake line. Before I do anything silly, like tighten this nut all the way, I like to leave the hose kind of flexible. That way I could get the metal brake line started easier. It does not want to thread onto this. There we go. So I just get it snug, but just snug enough that I can still manipulate it some. And then I leave it alone. While I'm under here tightening the line, I'm always looking, you know, looking at the rest of the truck, seeing what's going on here. And I just happened to notice that this motor mount bolt isn't tightened all the way. The nut is just started on it, cross-threaded, and then it was left. Now, given GM's quality control, or lack thereof, on these trucks in particular in the 70s, it could have been like that forever, really. But more likely, I think someone's put a motor in it. It doesn't look like a reman or anything good. It's probably just some other turd. As long as it's not a 305. Oh, beautiful. One side down. Well, I'll knock this side out real quick. We've always got to play brake line roulette here, you know. Will we win or will we die? Let's see. I think it's going. It's going. Hey, if I don't have to make these brake lines, I'm a happy boy. Oh yeah, we're good. Making like the front to rear, that's not bad. It's basically just a straight piece of tube. These, on a 4x4, they get kind of weird, curly, and, you know, they can run into things. I'm just going to do exactly what you just saw me do, and then, you know what, I think we got time. We might look at the rear brakes. I know, everybody's thrilled about it. You know, if I had to guess here, Kind of looks like someone tied this rope around here on purpose. Like it might be holding the entire axle together or something. Maybe it just got sucked in there. But I don't know. Yeah, it probably did. It is bad. The joint is bad. I don't know if they were trying to crutch that or what. Oh, weird. Well, the front brakes are done. That's one big thing crossed off. This is going to shock nobody, but it turns out the fuel tank leaks. Weird. You know, it didn't leak at all until just very recently. It's got like pressure on it or something. I don't know. I'll try to find the hole. I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably on the bottom, right? Oh yeah, there it is. Got a pinhole right there. So here's the issue with this. It's very hard to patch a fuel leak as it's leaking. But we'll try. Now you can see I've got my license plate here. This is not going to work, but I want to try. I mean, it is leaking significantly. You know what? Before I do the license plate, I got one little trick here. So very much a pinhole, yes. If I just shoot a screw into that, it might work. I'm going to mix up just a little bit of JB Weld here, and then we'll roll our screw in it and shoot it into it. And this might work. If it doesn't, then you better believe I'm about to screw a license plate to the bottom of the gas tank. What could possibly go wrong? The JB Weld is pretty much required here. Yeah, just roll the screw in it so it's got some sort of sealing capability. Sort of. I'll try to find the pinhole. Nah, just ain't nothing left of it. It's just gonna keep on leaking. Now it's got a big hole in it. I've made it worse. Go figure. Me make something worse. Well, it should drain quicker now. Let me oh, it won't come back out. That's delightful. Here, the license plate doubles as a prying tool. Gonna leak now. Oh yeah. Big leak. Well, at this point I may as well let it drain and then we'll try to patch that. I'll just let this thing drain back into this can here, and once it's finished leaking, we'll stand a little better chance at fixing that. While we wait for that, let's take a peek at these rear brakes. I actually crawled under the truck and the front to rear brake line doesn't look that bad, so what the hell? Let's take a look. Unfortunately, my use of thermal warfare is going to be very limited considering the steady stream of gasoline to my right. So we'll go strictly chemical. Also, I think I found a set of tires on Marketplace for like $100. So I may have to go get those in a minute. I see you. So what do you think? You think that just comes off? It might, actually. Ooh. Freaking shoes are like brand new. Hell, the wheel seller don't look that bad, actually. Spiders, but spiders everywhere. Just spiders. I call this thing Spider Truck. But it actually looks pretty decent in here. Yeah, that wheel cylinder isn't as good as I thought, but the dust covers sure are. I mean, it wouldn't take just a couple minutes to throw cylinders in it. Screw it, let's do it. This one was actually stuck. I don't know if it was even rolling. Yeah, I broke one of the hold down pins. I didn't even break it, actually. It just popped off. We'll throw some wheel cylinders in this, Actually, it looks like it's already had brake lines put on the axle tubes at some point. So we got a pretty good chance of getting those off in one piece. You know, I mean, I'm willing to do this work. I see this as a farm truck. It's possible that someone would want to take this thing and restore it to the way it should be instead of just a piece of shit. And anything I can do that'll help that happen, I'm going to do it. Like kill all the spiders. As you see here, the nail of the brake is fine. You just needed a new cup. You put the cup in your hold down spring. It's good to go again. We got very lucky there. All the rest of the hardware looks like it's in really good shape. It's another god spider. What the hell? How many chemicals do I have to use? Die! Got the hold down on there. And that's good, because we don't actually have to... I am not making this up. There's another spider. To just replace wheel cylinders, we don't actually have to remove the entire brake. We can just take off the 2 springs on the top, kind of spread it out, and then just pop the wheel cylinder out. I'm still on a no fire policy here. So we'll see if it'll break free naturally. Well, the threads did, but of course the tube nut is frozen to the line. Very, very typical. It might come free. If it doesn't, we're gonna need fire. Yeah, we're gonna need fire. Oh, wait. Oh! It did an amazing twist of events. It actually is unscrewing no problem now. That's cool. I gotta let some of this shit evaporate before I bust out the torch, you know? One wheel cylinder. There may not be anything wrong with these. I just didn't think I could get the bleeder out of them. Got my new wheel cylinder here that doesn't even resemble the one that came out of it, so it's probably good. Even on a really quick half-ass job like this, I'm going to clean up the wheel cylinder pins here. That way they don't trash the new wheel cylinders immediately. Be done with this in just a minute. This brake line came off, no problem. Maybe things are looking up for once. Nah, something horrible will happen. There is brake fluid back here, which tells me at least the line is probably sort of good from the front to the back. And maybe we could get away without changing the rubber hose and T on the rear end. I mean, I'll give it a shot real quick. Ugh, it's pretty rusty. If we could just leave it alone and not touch it, that would be nice. And it would save me a few bucks. The most expensive part of any of this is the damn rubber hoses, which is just crazy. Okay, all the brakes are done. We still got to put a master cylinder on it, but before I do that, I'm going to do something real quick. These wheels look terrible, and I'm probably going to end up putting tires on them. I don't think I have a choice. I had a couple cans of white spray paint left in my cabinet here. Let's see if we can dress them up a little bit, maybe. Oh, yeah. Right over the dirt, you know. I mean, don't prep. Whatever you do, don't prep. But, yeah, that'll look decent. That'll look better. Kind of make them look like wagon wheels. Good thing is, these should be dry by the time I'm ready to mount anything to them. Oh, yeah. The dirt, everything. Painted all white. I actually did wipe these off, I swear. It just keeps coming. Let's pop the master cylinder off here. Hopefully the last 2 brake lines we have to touch. Yep, that's going well. We could use fire up here. Yeah, let's get that brake fluid a-boiling. That's going to work out great for me. It's trying. Not really, though. Got it. Let's let that cool off, because boiling brake fluid hurts. Just one of those pro tips you can learn from me. Come on, let go. Now, I usually don't have any trouble with brake boosters on these trucks. They were a pretty robust unit. Delco Moraine brake booster. I think I might have changed one in my life, and I have owned a lot of square body trucks, guys. Probably upwards of 30. And for the 78th week in a row, I will be bench bleeding the master cylinder. That's ready to rock and roll. Look how shiny that is. Beautiful. I mean, this thing's practically concourse restored.
Hello.
Hi. We're going to bleed brakes. Try to, anyway.
All right, holding. Yep.
You've already found treasures.
Yeah, there's
Drill bits.
first aid kit. Found, I think, a 20 gauge shotgun shell. What are these? Oh, I bet they're part of that
Chandelier.
Yeah, chandelier.
Yeah, there's chandelier parts in the back here. Interesting.
Yeah.
You kind of set of spark plugs too.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, that's the fuel filter I needed.
Oh, found it.
And an oil filter. Hey, it's probably trash though. It's a Fram.
Oh. The Bluetooth handle for this. A bit broken, but it might still work. Oh, this is what you always want to see, a wrapper for a syringe. I'm going to open the glove box. I always get a little nervous about this. I don't know if something is going to jump out. Oh, no. That's a huge mouse nest. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff there. I'll just vacuum that out. I'm not reaching in because I found an open syringe wrapper and that's not how I want my life to end. Ew. Well, got an owner's manual compacted with nastiness. More extreme vacuuming!
This pile, actually, not too bad.
Yeah, that pile's pretty bad.
That's gross. Is this done? It is done. Now, with our fuel tank conveniently drained, we might be able to fix it. Probably not. I'm gonna clean it as good as I can. Got 3 little pinholes over here. Rinse it off. I will carefully trim this license plate to make a patch. It's on the curve, which is going to make this difficult. But not impossible. Mix up a bunch of JB Weld. We'll just try to pack those holes full of it and glue a license plate over it. Damn thing keeps wanting to get wet, but just have to hope this holds. Pack those holes full of it. Kind of working. Now, let's take a piece of license plate, shove it on there, just to hold the goo into the holes is all. The JB Weld alone might work. Let me try putting a smaller piece where the holes were. I've seen guys just shoot screws into these, but I'm afraid if I start shooting screws into this, it's just going to make it worse. This tank's in pretty bad shape. And for the record, a new square body gas tank is like $100. It's really not that much. Okay. We'll see if that does anything. I mean, that's like
She's coming
decent.
along. I mean, a little bit more to go, but
Decent amount of poop, but
there's
livable.
so much mouse pee in here. But a lot less now.
This will be equally interesting. But in order to get rid of that, we really need to be able to move the truck. And the last thing, well, other than the fact that we can't put gas in it right now, but the last thing we have to do there is get some tires. My Marketplace tires fell through. We'll see what I got laying around, I guess. I was able to find two 235/75/15s. So it's 4x4, right? All the tires have got to be the same size or it might screw something up. I've got a bunch of car tires, but I don't got nothing for a truck. Except for this. That was in the trunk of my dad's Buick out back. I don't think he's going to use that, so it'll have one brand new tire. And then this is the spare for my old car trailer. It's 30 years old. So I'm going to change the two that won't hold air. And that's it. That'll be good enough. That brand new tire just added $100 to the value of the truck. That's a high dollar tire. It only requires 8 arms to operate this tire machine, is all. It's more of a tire helper than tire machine. Ugh. Not asking. Done. Kinda. Almost there. Oh, it's the wrong size tire. One down. I did the shitty tire first. I figured the brand new tire would probably be easier. Maybe. Well, we got our tires. Let's get them put on, get this thing put back on the ground. Let me get the hood shut. I gotta lube up these hinges. But did you guys happen to notice this? The supports they tried to put in to keep the hood from kinking, that they put in the wrong spot. They don't kink here. They kink here where it's kinked. You got to put a support that goes under the hinge and it goes up to here to keep the hood from kinking. That's actually the first crumple zone introduced by GM. If you get into a wreck, the hood takes the hit instead of you. Every single one of these trucks has a kinked hood because of that. Thanks, Ralph Nader. Son of a bitch. Yep. That's what they're good at. Wow. Those wheel spacers don't leave a whole lot of stud showing. I wonder why it does it. I mean, does it need those? Why would it need those? It does need them. What is it rubbing? Oh, it's hitting the tie rod. Wow, that's what you get for buying the wrong wheels. I ain't putting wheels on it though, so looks like this will be perfect. To the next owner of the vehicle, whether it's that local guy or one of you guys, get a different set of wheels because this is dangerous. But I am going to dress it up a little. I think I've got enough used chrome lug nuts here that we can spruce it up a little bit, huh? You know, make this thing feel good with its freshly dirty spray painted wheels, and that's about it, you know, and the super cleaned interior. I mean, it's just nice in there. This is a nice truck. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. There's nothing nice about this thing. It's a good farm truck. It's a good farm truck. I get it. All you youngins, you think that, oh, it's a square body. It's a classic. No, it's a truck. It's just a truck. It's a good truck, but it's just a truck. You just use it like a truck. It's not like, don't make this your personality. It's a truck. See, sometimes when you're doing this, you may have to use multiple size sockets to get your wheels on, but look how much better it looks. Marginally better. That's how much better it looks. It heard me shit talking, didn't it? Should have learned. I'll never learn. So, dear future owner, needs a hub. Shit. These screws here are supposed to hold this on. And they do not. That couldn't have been on there, like, at all. I barely touched it. It fell off. Well, there goes our 4x4. I'm not putting hubs on it. Sorry. Not happening. It had to have been shoved on there in such a way that it was like perfection almost. It does kind of need this. I mean, it's not going to fall apart, but yeah, every one of those is snapped off. I'm kind of over it at this point. My mouth hurts. Well, like I was saying, it needs a hub. Very badly, actually. You can see it doesn't work at all. Damn. So we'll put this in the truck, and the next guy can deal with that. No 4x4 for us. Now, it may just be a truck, but it ain't a bad-looking old thing. I could have this thing done in 3 weeks, probably. Painted, as long as I found some sheet metal. Maybe it's better than a farm truck. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends how good it drives around. I mean, there is a point where it's like, is it really worth putting a new engine in, or a transmission, and the bodywork, and all the interior, and the floors, and it does have some frame rust around that spring perch. I found that. Not bad, but a little. Like, is it worth that? I don't know. You guys have seen me literally rebuild probably the worst square body on the planet, and I made a truck out of it. Realistically, you do have to say, yeah, this is still usable, but maybe it's just, you know, run to town and get a few things with it, or use it around your place. You know, everything still has a purpose, just different purposes. But I like this thing. I can tell you one thing about it, for sure, hands down, 100%, even though that small block is pretty damn tired, and even if the rest of the truck is also garbage, you could probably drive this thing for the rest of your life, as long as you keep oil in the fucker. Like, oil, coolant, it will move, and it will get the job done. It might do it on 3 cylinders. It'll still do it. Let's start off today by putting gas in this so that it can immediately just run right onto the ground, you know, where it belongs. Then, let's go driving around the yard a little bit, see what, I don't know, see if it's worth a damn. Whoa, okay, that's not gonna work, is it? There we go. You gotta get all this shit out of the back of this thing. That's gonna be interesting. But there could be treasures. I don't see it leaking. Maybe I fixed it. I doubt I fixed it, but I probably slowed it significantly. And that'll be good enough for what this truck needs to do. Now, let's see if she'll run still. And then I think the first stop I want to make is the scrap pile, because there is some metal in there. Maybe we filter out the metal, and then we'll just bag and toss the rest. I don't know what to do with it. Come on, baby. Sounds great. She's cherry. I just had to warm up a little bit. Brakes ain't too bad. The transfer case was in neutral. I mean, just an old truck. Something's wrong with the transfer case linkage. There. It holds low, but it doesn't let me. Neutral. There. That might be it. No. Nope. Okay, so, you just leave it low. That's what she is. Top speed, 35 miles an hour. That's the kind of truck this is. Wrong way. Hang on, I brought a tool for this. The key, you see. It's a fine automobile. I only sell the best cars at Dalton's Used Motors here. It's gonna roll away.
There's plenty to stop it.
Yeah, and I don't really care. I mean, no, it would break my heart. A decent amount of this stuff is metal. Or metal-like. And my brother leaves this dump truck here that we can fill full of scrap metal, and then he hauls it away. Red Bull?
Yeah.
We're just gonna unload all the scrap metal first. You know what that is? That's a greenhouse.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Dang, that is.
It is. It's one of them, just like the one you just did.
Yeah.
Don't let him go.
Oh, yes.
There you go. He's a keeper. Oh, shit.
That's impressive.
I did not expect that to work.
No.
Oh, my God. Oh. Now you can really see what we're dealing with here. She's cherry. Cherry. Could be yours for the low price, $7.99 a month for the next 87 months. Oh, hey. Score, though. Ooh. I told you there'd be treasures in here.
Yes, there always is. All right. Our trash man's going to love us.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, just in time for the holidays. Tetanus cookies.
Yes, tetanus cookies. I've always wanted to try those.
Well, that's pretty much it for scrap metal. We'll get the rest of this cleaned out, and I just want to drive it around the yard and see what it feels like, you know? All 6 are running good. So the black stuff coming out of the tailpipe, it's definitely oil, because it was running pretty good, and it's just slowly getting worse. But it does work. Needs a U-joint the worst way. I'm gonna go check the mail. Damn mail hasn't come yet. All right, testing reverse capabilities. Cool. That quadrajet hates life. It hates it so much. She'll come around. She's coming around. There we go. It is coming around, actually. Shifted. I'm just gonna park over here by the burn pile for no particular reason. It's knocking. I think. Or is it this? No, it's knocking. I think we figured out why the truck was parked. Oh yeah. That's a rod. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. She dead. That's a rod, Doc. Oh. Price just went down on the truck. Just sweeping the remains into the burn pile. It's mostly, you know, leaves and that guy.
And this guy.
But I'll get this done in a minute. Yeah, you see that there? That's bad. Whole floor's that way. You know. Yeah. Oh, yep. See, quality rig. Hey, Cherry. This is a good truck here. Use them. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go park it because that motor's gonna blow up.
Yep.
This truck, I'm actually not gonna sell this to the local guy who wanted it for a farm truck because it won't make much of a farm truck. You can't put a bale spike in the bed because the bed's rotten. The motor's knocking. 4x4 needs work. So here's what I'll do. I paid $500 for this truck, and I put $250 worth of brake parts in it, and then I've got about, you know what, that one tire is like $100, and then if you count fluids, I'll sell it to one of you guys for $750 for this truck right here. No title. I can hook you up with getting one. But if you want this truck, this 1974 GMC 4x4, it can be saved. It just needs a bed, a tailgate, a motor. I think the windshield's good.
Yeah.
Needs both doors could be saved. Mm-hmm. The passenger fender could be saved. Probably needs a driver's fender. Needs a hood. Needs a grill. Needs both bumpers.
Fine.
Needs a seat cover, but the interior's not half bad.
A blanket would be just fine.
Yep. Dash pad. Could use that. Floor is pretty much gone on the driver's side, as you can see there. Could use 2 spring perches on the front of the leaf on the rear end. Front end looks fine. Transmission, probably. Transfer case, linkage anyway. It needs every damn thing. But if you want to take on that task, $750, email me, pbgdalton@gmail.com. Blower motor works.
Oh, that's a smell. Don't ever do that again.
Oh my
God, that smells so bad. Why'd you do that?
Oh my God. All right, where do I park this?
Anywhere. I just need out.
Transmission works. Transmission works fine. Rest of it, not so much. Let me just put it around back. One of you guys better come buy this thing. Everyone's always like, oh, well, you need to please sell your cars. Why don't you sell your cars? I do. You gotta actually have money and come buy them. So we're just gonna put this back here forever. I am going out of town for a week. I should be back by the time this video is posted. Email me, pbgdalton@gmail.com, and please rid me of this thing. Battery not included. Ugh.